Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm back again, JC here with Wedge Concepts. And in this video, I'm going to go over a few things that I think you should consider when applying for a credit card. All right, so let's get right to it. All right, thank you for checking out my channel. And like I mentioned, I'm just going to go over some things that I think you should consider when applying for a credit card. Hey, what's going on? I had to interrupt the video to let y'all know about my book, Broke Budgeting. Okay, it's on Amazon, 5 Simple Strategies. Okay, the link is going to be in the description. Make sure you pick up a copy. I have a Kindle version as well as a paperback. All right, let's get back to your video. Because there are so many credit cards out there to choose from, especially when you have decent or good credit. And there's so many videos out there, especially on YouTube. You know, you got your top 5, your best credit cards with high limits, depending on what you're looking for. So how does someone choose which credit card to get when there are just so many out there? So I'm hoping that giving you a few tips, things that you should consider, can make it just a little bit easier for you. All right. So one of the things I mentioned in one of my other videos is the credit card tiers. Okay, because there's tiers to this, and the better credit you have, the higher score you have, the higher tier card you can get. So let's quickly go over the different tiers. So your tier 1 cards are going to be your starter cards. These are normally your secured cards, right? So your secured cards, you put up money, a collateral, usually into a savings account. So for example, you'll put up $200 into a savings account. If you put $200 into that savings account, then that'll be your limit. And if something goes wrong and you don't pay, then the bank or whoever issued the credit card can go ahead and use your collateral at $200 and take that from you. All right. Now, some people say that retail cards go along that same line as well. I consider retail cards kind of like tier 2. So, but with the tier 2 cards, these are going to be the cards where you pretty much have a low, somewhat bad credit score, but you can still get a credit card, right? These aren't going to be very high limit. They're usually second chance cards. These cards are not going to have any annual fees. And again, these can also be considered retail store credit cards. Your Macy's, your TJ Maxx, things like that. Your tier 3 credit cards, this is when the annual fee starts to kick in. Usually it starts around $95. It's going to include more benefits. You might be able to get cash back, yada, yada, yada. Tier 4 is when you're going to have the higher cards. The tier 4s are going to be pretty much your Visa Gold, as well as the Platinum. I'm sorry, let's say Visa Gold. Your Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, as well as the Chase Sapphire Reserved. Now, I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve is $5.95 a year. I think that the Platinum American Express is about that same price too. But yeah, you're pretty up there. I mean, and these are people who use a lot of. You're going to get higher limits, right? But you'll get a ton of benefits. And then there's another tier which is like invitation only. I don't know anybody who is on that tier, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that go. So those are the different tiers, and I got a whole video on that. So you want to ask yourself or try to figure out what kind of card, what do you want it to do? I think that the easiest is just to say get a card that has cash back, but cash back in what? So you can get cash back more towards groceries, towards gas, towards online shopping. Yes, some cards that just have like 1% cash back on everything. So it doesn't matter if you're at a restaurant or whatever. So you want to find out and get a card that kind of matches what you're looking for, right? You want to see if these cards, you want to look at their interest rates, because a lot of these cards, depending on the offer and your credit score, you can get a card with like a 0% APR for maybe the first year or 18 months. So that's also good. I have a card through a credit union, Andrews Federal Credit Union. And my interest rate on my card is like 7%. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so you can get credit cards that is no cash back, is no special rewards, no points, I got this card on purpose. The only goal for this card is designed for people who carry a balance, and I'm doing something with that, so that's why I got that card. You got your travel card. You even got the cards by the airlines like your Southwest and your Delta. I think you get the drift, right? Okay. So you also want to look at what cards have annual fees or not. Some people don't like the annual fees. The cards that have the annual fees, they're going to give you the higher limits, and they're also going to give you more benefits. You also want to look at any penalties for late fees. I'm not a big fan of penalties or late fees, so I do everything I can to pay my balance in full before the due date. But if for some reason you have a habit of missing payments, you may want to look at the penalties for that. Now, also, I like to look at the grace period, which means that if your statement closes on the 10th, I have a grace period where it's not due until the 23rd. So that gives you that window where it's no interest. You can make as many payments as you want during that grace period without earning any interest. So ideally, you want to have at least 20 days. You can call and get that. I haven't seen any that are less than 20 days, but 20 days is pretty much standard. But with so many cards to choose from, again, it all depends on your credit score. I just think that, just really get whatever card you want. I mean, you really don't have to make it complicated. You can get 2 to 3 cards a year, depending on what you want. If you're not sure, you can always start with your bank. But I find that going outside of your bank and even going with other banks, you get other kind of cards. I mean, just because I'm with Bank of America doesn't mean I can't get a Chase or a SunTrust card, Capital One, for example. So definitely, remember that these cards or these banks, they're in competition with one another. So you don't have to get a credit card just because you bank with that person. You can get a credit card without even opening an account, just applying for it. But I think that as you get older and you're more disciplined with using credit cards, using debt, I think that you want to really go for your tier 3 cards and hopefully get to that tier 4. Once you get around 295, forget that. Everyone's goal should be to get to the Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, or the Sapphire by Chase. Okay, that should be your goal, because as you work up the tiers, lenders see this on your report, and they know that you have excellent credit, that these organizations or these financial institutions trust you well enough that they're giving you these kind of balances, these kind of cards. That looks great to any kind of lenders, even if you're getting a car or a house, and that should be your goal. And if you're worried about the annual fee, I don't want to pay $500 a year in that. I understand that. That makes sense. But depending on how you use your card, you'll get way more than $500 worth. Just even by, if you take your one credit card and let's say you use the Platinum, you get 2 trips. You get 2 tickets round trip. You got hotel. You have car rental. You got all the food. You got baggage. You got your Uber back and forth, or your Uber to the airport, whatever. That one trip can almost get you to your 500 points. And don't forget, depending on which airport you're going out of, you can use your Amex Platinum card and chill out in the lounges. It doesn't have to be a Centurion lounge. You can chill in the Delta, Delta Sky Lounge, or whatever. You just show that card. Really, you just show the credit card, and they'll say, "Come this way." Now you can take a nap. They got food, drinks. You can man, check it out. Well, let's see if we ever start flying again. Well, we're already flying, but let's see if I will fly again. But the point is, depending on your credit score, your discipline when using credit cards, just find what credit card fits your lifestyle, which one you can afford, which one can earn you cash back, hopefully, in your everyday spending, and you'll be all set. All right. So I hope you found this useful. Of course, as you know, do not click subscribe. Do not click the like button, but do me a favor. Take this information, share it with someone else, apply it to yourself, and let's grow something. Let's build something together. All right. All right. Take care.